The Ottoman war camp erupted in controlled fury as news of the shattered river blockade spread through the ranks. Sultan Mehmed, determined and visibly angered by the unexpected naval defeat, summoned his top commanders for an urgent council. The loss on the water was more than a tactical setback. It was a challenge to Ottoman authority and momentum in the siege of Belgrade. For weeks, the Ottoman strategy had relied on steady pressure. Heavy artillery bombarded the fortress walls, while siege lines tightened around the defenders. The river blockade was meant to starve the city into submission. Its destruction changed everything. Supplies were now flowing into the fortress, and the defenders' morale had surged. Inside his command tent, Sultan Mehmed made a decisive choice. Abandoning the slow and methodical siege tactics that had defined the campaign, he ordered an immediate total assault. The fortress was to be taken at any cost. Commanders were instructed to prepare every available unit for a coordinated attack designed to overwhelm the defenders through sheer force. Messengers raced across the sprawling camp, delivering the Sultan's orders. Drums thundered as officers assembled their troops. Elite Janissary units were placed at the center of the assault formation, supported by waves of infantry and specialized siege forces. Artillery crews were commanded to intensify their bombardment, softening the defenses ahead of the advance. The atmosphere among the Ottoman soldiers was charged with urgency. Many understood that this assault would be one of the most dangerous moments of the entire campaign. Yet the Sultan's determination left no room for hesitation. Engineers worked through the night to position ladders, battering rams, and explosive charges near the walls. As dawn approached, the bombardment reached a deafening crescendo. Cannons roared in rapid succession, sending clouds of smoke and debris into the air. Sections of the fortress walls, already weakened by weeks of shelling, began to crumble. Ottoman commanders watched closely, identifying potential breach points for the coming attack. Inside Belgrade, the defenders recognized the signs of an impending storm. The intensified artillery fire and visible troop movements left little doubt about the enemy's intentions. Officers rushed to reinforce damaged sections of the walls, while civilians assisted by carrying supplies and tending to the wounded. When the signal for the assault was given, waves of Ottoman troops surged forward. War cries echoed across the battlefield as soldiers advanced under covering fire. Arrows and gunshots poured from the fortress, cutting into the attacking ranks. Despite heavy losses, the momentum of the assault continued. Janissary units pushed toward the most vulnerable sections of the wall, raising ladders and attempting to establish footholds. Close quarters combat erupted as defenders fought desperately to repel them. Stones, boiling liquids, and concentrated volleys were unleashed from above, turning the breaches into deadly choke points. Sultan Mehmed observed the battle from a forward command position, surrounded by his staff. Reports flowed in constantly, detailing progress and casualties. Each gain was met with immediate orders to exploit it, while setbacks prompted rapid redeployment of reserves. The Sultan's presence underscored the importance of the assault. Hours of brutal fighting followed. The battlefield became a chaotic landscape of smoke, fire, and clashing steel. Ottoman forces managed to penetrate parts of the outer defenses, triggering fierce counterattacks from the garrison. Every captured position was contested, often changing hands multiple times. The intensity of the assault tested both sides to their limits. Ottoman commanders urged their troops onward, driven by the Sultan's command to seize the fortress regardless of cost. The defenders, aware that defeat would have catastrophic consequences, resisted with unwavering determination. As the day wore on, casualties mounted dramatically. Medical tents in the Ottoman camp filled with the wounded, while stretcher bearers navigated the dangerous terrain to evacuate survivors. Despite the toll, fresh units were continually fed into the fight, maintaining relentless pressure on the fortress. By late afternoon, sections of the battlefield were littered with debris and fallen soldiers. The fortress walls bore the scars of sustained bombardment and assault. Yet the defenders continued to hold critical positions, preventing a complete breakthrough. Sultan Mehmed responded by ordering renewed artillery strikes to support another wave of attacks. Cannons thundered once more, targeting defensive strongpoints identified during the day's fighting. Under this barrage, Ottoman troops launched a final push, attempting to secure a decisive foothold before nightfall. The clash that followed was among the fiercest of the siege. Combat raged at arm's length, with neither side willing to yield. Commanders on both sides struggled to maintain order amid the chaos. relying on signals and messengers to coordinate their forces. As darkness began to fall, the intensity of the fighting gradually subsided. Exhausted soldiers withdrew to their respective lines, leaving behind a battlefield marked by destruction and sacrifice. The total assault had inflicted severe damage on the fortress and heavy casualties on both armies. In the Ottoman camp, the mood was a mixture of grim determination and sober reflection. The Sultan's order had demonstrated his willingness to risk everything for victory. Commanders assessed the day's gains and prepared for the next phase of the campaign, aware that the siege was entering a critical stage. Within Belgrade, the defenders worked through the night to repair breaches and tend to the wounded. Fires illuminated the shattered walls as emergency reinforcements were erected. Despite the devastation, the fortress still stood. The total assault marked a turning point in the siege. It revealed the scale of the Ottoman commitment and the lengths to which Sultan Mehmed was prepared to go to achieve his objective. For the defenders, surviving the onslaught reinforced their resolve. As both sides prepared for what lay ahead, one reality was clear. The struggle for the fortress had escalated into a test of endurance and will. The Sultan's command for an all-out attack had transformed the siege into a brutal contest where the outcome would shape the balance of power in the region. The night closed over a battlefield forever changed, carrying with it the echoes of cannon fire and the knowledge that the final decision had yet to be reached.